Welcome back to another Guideline video. Today, we're back with another review. Yeah, guys, it's been a while, but I will say, you probably will see this shirt a lot in these reviews because it's been a while and there's been a bunch of great movies. And once again, we're going to be here joined by Zach. How you doing, Zach?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good. So, there's a lot of movies to talk to. As you guys saw in the title, we're going to talk about JOJO Rabbit. Because this movie has been out and we're a little bit late, we're going to start with just a normal review and not go into spoilers. And then later on, I'll throw up the spoiler sign and let you guys know. And then we'll talk some spoilers because it's been a while. So, Zach, when you came out of this movie, what was your first thoughts?
It was funny. It had heart. It was not depressing, but the subject matter is kind of depressing. It has a little bit of everything. It's a little over the top at times, but he's going for that.
Mm-hmm.
So it works. I think Rebel Wilson is a little bit too over the top for me.
Okay.
That was like the only thing I kept on, it wasn't killing it for me, but I'm just like she blows up a building or something. I'm like, oh, that's great. It's just, but yeah, that was the only thing I was like, when I was watching, I was like, I could have done without her.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Rockwell, right? Is it Sam Rockwell?
Yes, it is.
Sam Rockwell, I think, almost steals the movie.
Yeah, he's so good, man. He's so good. But when is he not good, though? When is Sam Rockwell not good?
I mean, he's years. I don't know if he'll get nominated for this.
I don't think so.
But he got nominated last year for Vice. The year before he won for 3 Billboards. I mean, he's been.
He also has Rachel Jewell coming out a little bit later in the year. He has a role in there, so we might not see him for JoJo Rabbit, but we might see him for that, or vice versa.
He's so good. Yeah. I was watching. It's not a spoiler part, but I was like, this may happen, and I'm glad it happened. But I mean, he's funny, and he shows. Yeah.
So honestly, when the movie ended, and I've never done this. Usually after a movie, and when you're with the excited crowd, they would clap at the end of the movie, right? Usually when you're excited, but you're not in a small movie where you clap. Literally, the movie ended, and I felt this rage inside of me, and I just started clapping. I was the only one that clapped. It was awkward, but it blew me away how good this movie was because I was not excited about it. And I like Taika Waititi. I love Thor Ragnarok, which everyone says that. I'm just tooting the same horn. But I liked I've liked all his movies, but I wouldn't say I love like most people. So I was a little bit excited about it, and I was like, okay, this movie looks good. I'm hearing good things, but it was very funny, very funny. I was laughing through the whole movie, literally the whole movie. And then again, the roles of each character is just amazing. I forgot to mention Scarlett Johansson in this movie, but she is something else in this movie. And I think what's difficult about her character is there's something that happens with her character, and that to make her performance stand out more, I feel like because you kind of look under her performance through the whole movie, basically, till that moment happens. And then when the moment happens, you're like, okay, all this is set up this, and I want to rewatch it and really go deep into her performance to really notice how great it is, because it's just something that has substance. And then, of course, even though Taika Waititi was great as Hitler, the metaphorical Hitler character, I thought he was the least standout. Okay, because Rebel Wilson, this is probably the best role I've seen her in. I could care less for her in any other role. She was funny when she needed to be, and it worked. She wasn't in it that much. She was just good.
Thank God.
Yeah. Sam Rockwell's character is something else, because just the movie opens, and when he starts doing these weird things, I'm not going to go into it until we go to the spoilers, but when he does these weird things, he's just okay, this guy's nailing it already. And then he shows up every little and just sprinkled in there, and towards the end where his character gets a little bit bigger, it's just something nice and heartfelt in that, which is something else. And then I do want to mention Archie Yates as Yorkie. every person I've heard that talks about this movie says that little kid is very good, and I
Oh,
agree.
okay. I know. Okay,
Yeah,
I was like, who are you talking
yeah, the little
about?
chubby kid.
Yeah, I know which.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's so many good lines that he does. He's like, I want to snuggle, just like towards the end of the movie. I thought it was so funny. And then Thomasin McKenzie, man, as the Jew girl, like, she what I love about her character is she's not in like, yeah, she's in this crisis, but she's also playing with this kid with words and making just like kind of just playing on his hatefulness, and it's just something that I liked her a lot better than in this than what's it called, Leave No Trace, because I didn't like Leave No Trace.
Oh, that's her?
Yeah, it is
Okay.
her.
Okay.
I thought she did a very, very good job. Very surprised by her, and more I think about the movie, her role stands out to me. And then, of course, you got Roman Griffin Davis as JoJo. He is very good. I see him as the next, the next Jacob Tremblay. But personally, I think it will be kind of like, oh yeah, these are two good actors, and which do you prefer? I'm curious to see what this kid does compared to Jacob Tremblay, because I don't really like the kid that much, to be honest. I just don't. I don't like his personality. I don't like the way he acts that much. It's just, even though I love Good Boys, it's on my top 10. It's just things. Okay, so yeah, do you want to say anything else about the movie?
I had something, but then I lost it. But oh, okay, I got it. Yeah. So the way, so, this movie is ridiculous, but it's true at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
The way the propaganda worked with Hitler,
Yeah.
On the kid. I mean, that was true.
Yeah.
I mean, that happened. That's why Hitler came to power, and I thought the way they Taika did it, like you can just see, like, then later on, yeah. So it's just like,
Yeah.
you get, yeah, it's hard not to say without spoilers, but yeah, you how this guy came to power just from the propaganda machine that happened.
And I think what makes this movie stand out the most, I wonder if you agree with me, Zach, is that the balance between the comedy and the seriousness, because the comedy was always deep embedded into the serious moments. Okay, so for example, it's in the thing I read in the beginning when JoJo kind of finds out the girl. That's a huge comedy part of the movie, but it's also very serious at the same time. And there's always levity and the darkness in this movie, which makes it stand out. There's the thing at the end where JoJo does something, and it just feels like a comic book, but I think it stands out in the movie where it feels normal. Also, another thing I loved, the score was great. The score was, it surprised me. I downloaded the score on Spotify.
I'll have to listen
to
it the next time I pick up on it.
I'm forgetting his name, but he's a very, very good composer. Like, as soon as I told you the name, you'll recognize him. Why is it not showing up on here? But anyways, but yeah, that also added a lot to it. And I said, like you said, the propaganda was very good. Just little things in this movie were just outstanding. And what I mean, it's literally a perfect puzzle, in my opinion. I don't have any complaints about it, and the more I think about it, the more I love it. Yeah, Giacchino. Thank you. Yeah. Which if you listen back to JoJo's theme alone, very good. I would like this to get nominated. Plus, I would like to get it nominated for a while. So, guys, with that being said, we're going to go to the spoilers. So if you guys haven't seen the movie yet, then please go watch it. Please go support this movie because it's very good and original. Don't listen to these critics saying it's racist. It's not. It's not racist. It's doing what it needs to do, and it's a very good story. So if you guys, once you see the back of the movie, come back and watch the spoiler starting now. So, Zach, the first thing I want to talk about is when JoJo sees the butterfly. And he's going there, and he sees the butterfly. He's following it, and looks up, and he sees his mom hanging. What was your reaction to that? Did you see that coming? There's no way in hell you saw that coming.
So I had two things I was like, is he gonna get ran over or something? You know, something to that extent. Like he's gonna get injured somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't think. Right when I saw the feet, I was like, okay, I didn't see that coming, and that was, I mean, smart. But yeah, because
crazy.
Because I was. That's the only another. It wasn't even a complaint, but Scarlett Johansson's not in the movie that much.
Yeah, but she's strong in what she's given, and thinking back on it, it's really more strong.
Yeah, I just I would a little bit more personally, but yeah, I thought that was a really, really, really good
Yeah. Let's talk about. We were talking very good about Sam Rockwell here. So his character started off as this cocky person, leader, and he's shooting around the gun, which is just a great opening to the movie in general.
Don't do that. When he throws the grenade.
It's so good because like he just does that, and then he gets because that happens, he gets fired, and then Scarlett Johansson goes in there and kicks him right in the balls. He says, "You're to give him a job." And I like how they start to have this bond, and he starts asking questions, and you don't really think much of it. And then when it happens, when he goes in there, when everything's going down, and forgot the guy's name, the
guy that's
Stephen Merchant, Stephen Merchant, and all those people come in to start looking for the Jews in the house.
That's the best scene in the movie, in my opinion.
And then Sam Rockwell walks in, and he notices, and he looks at the past, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this girl's not the right person," but he covers for him. And I'm like, okay, that's nice. And I'm like, okay, I didn't see that coming for his character. And then later on, when they get caught and they lose the war, and they both get trapped in there, and he's like, "Get away, Jew!" And I'm like, damn. And then like you feel really sad about it too. It's like, shit, man. Like, this guy was good at heart, you know? Like, don't put everyone in a corner. Yeah, of course, there were bad Nazis and everything they did.
Most of them were.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
But there's also that, it's like in the same thing with, back with slavery and stuff, you know? Like, not all people in the South were bad. They were still that took care of their slaves and stuff. But that was just part of the time. And I really did like that take from it. And then the whole relationship with JoJo and Thomas and Mackenzie's character, Elsa, it's just something great how she starts telling him all these like stories about the Jews because he cares, and he's like, oh, vampire teeth and everything. And I just think it's very nice because she's playing in a world where therefore she can't play because everything is serious, you know? Like she's still living in like Pee-wee's Playhouse, technically, you know, always still playing around and everything. I thought that was very interesting, the way to do that, and how their relationship went. Like when they did that one shot where it was painting around the room and they were like drawing and everything. It was just, and I loved how it wasn't like hit on the nail exact, oh yeah, I like Jews now. It was a development. It took the whole movie for him to realize that, because it was I forgot the moment it happens, so please forgive me. It's like he says that, oh, all Jews are not that bad. I forgot where he says that, but it takes a while, and I remember that because he still believes in this vampire stuff for a while, you know, through the whole movie.
For almost through the whole movie.
Yeah, but in most movies, it would be like, okay, yeah, he starts making this girl. Oh yeah, they become best friends. It's over with. Like, no, they kept it through the whole entire movie, which I loved. Any thoughts on her character and what she did?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. I mean, it was I kind of expected that almost everything except for the mother. Yeah. I kind of had an idea. Even
that mother shot the hell out of me.
Throughout the whole movie, I'm like, Rockwell, I was like, I think he's good. The way he's playing it, I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's good. Yeah. And then once when they gave him the password, I mean, there's no way that's right when that happened. But I mean, but it's just such a everything about it is just so good. Yeah. Good. And it's funny, but but serious. It just balanced basically perfectly.
It's a very good balance. And I want to talk about the end here, Zach. So at the end, we kind of get JoJo kind of kicks Hitler out the window and just kind of flies.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
I knew that. off Hitler at one point, something to that extent.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming somewhere. I was
but
like,
I thought it was fine. But
oh yeah,
yeah.
great.
So the thing is when the war ends and JoJo goes and tells her, "Oh, the war's not over," and I thought it was just going to be as simple. He was holding that letter. He's like, "Oh, he's going to tell her," but he didn't. And then they went outside, and I love that moment where JoJo says, when she's like, "Is it scary out there?" He's like, "Very." And I think she says, "It's dangerous," and he's like, "Very dangerous." And he opens the door, and he goes out there, and then you see the American flag go by, and he gets slapped. And I thought she was just going to storm away, but again, this movie surprised me, and she stayed, and again, called back to where she says, "What is the first thing you're going to do when you're done?" It's dance, and they dance, and I think it's just a beautiful ending. It's very good. You don't know where it's going to go. Overall, it's just there's very little for me to complain about this movie. You know,
Yep.
like I'm really trying hard.
I actually just thought of something I didn't care for.
Okay.
So, he finds where she hides, but no one else could. That's the one other thing. I was just like, I think they would have found where she hid if he had found it that easily.
But he was looking hard. Like I take that back. He wasn't looking hard, but again, he was going there. He was like just walking around. He was like, "Oh, this looks interesting." But the people are storming the house, moving quickly. So that's the only thing I could really say.
Just from knowing World War II, I think they would have caught them pretty easy. That was just like I'm like, I have to suspend my disbelief a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah. Or it was just like he found her in like 5 minutes, like,
yeah. I also really loved to kind of give my closing thoughts here. I really, really enjoyed the camp scene. Everything when they did all those like all the stuff they did, like all the training. I thought it was great. And then the thought with JoJo and the kid, they're playing with their knives and going to sleep, and he's like. Hitler's my best friend. He's like, "Hey, I'm your best friend." He's like, "Well, you're not really important as Hitler." He's like, "You're just like a kid in a fat kid's body," or something around there. I know I botched that line, but I just really enjoyed just every little moment in this movie. So if I had to give my score out of 10, and again, of course, there's a 10 for like there's a score for everyone and how they felt, and some people do it more of a way of a film, like a film and how it's structured and everything. I always did that. I'm going to start doing it with my heart and how I feel, and I'm going to honestly give this movie a 10 out of 10 for me. It knocked everything out of the park. The story was great. There was a lot of shocking moments. There was a lot of things that could have been cut out easy, but it had a journey with it, and all the characters meant something with the story. The soundtrack was something else for me, and I've been listening to it every day. I can't stop raving about this movie. So yeah, a 10 out of 10 for me. What is your score and closing thoughts?
My score was an 8.5 out of 10, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do want to see it again to see if the jokes still work, or it's probably going to be funnier the second time is my guess. That's why I want to see it again, to see if it is funnier. But yeah, it was everything basically worked except for Rebel Wilson for me.
Well, that's a good thing. That's the only thing. And to be fair, she usually does not knock it out of the park. She's usually garbage. And
the thing is, I don't mind her. I haven't seen that much with her, to be honest. But like I remember I saw like How to Be Single or something. She's in it. I thought she was funny in it, but in this movie, I just thought she was out of place in this movie.
Well, guys, that has been our review for Jojo Rabbit, and I mean this seriously from my heart, guys. If I can only catch one movie like recently, or if you're a big movie fan and Jojo Rabbit shows up, go watch it immediately. It is something else. It is very good. People are not underestimating this movie. And plus I wanted to get all the Oscar buzz because it's just something else and it makes you feel good. Do not judge it on what people are saying about how it's racist. I don't understand that.
I haven't seen that, so I haven't heard anyone say that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's people are just trying to find a complaint something about. But guys, I want to thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Oh, actually, sorry, the plugs. You can find me at Wiley K. Todd on all social medias, and also Guideline Season 1 is out on the website. You can go purchase www.guidelineentertainment.com. And Season 2 is about to launch. Zach, they can find you on Instagram at Blu-ray Zach, right?
Yes.
And watch his awful opinion about movies. Just joking. And it's kind of crazy because Zach and I have like different feelings about movies all the time, even the same movie, and then they end up at the same spot on the list.
I mean, for right now at least.
Yeah, it makes no sense. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Goodbye.